Hi, I'm Jordan. I started Grumpy Plumber because I'm lucky enough to have a dad who's an amazing plumber. He's been a plumber for 48 years. And since I bought my house 5 years ago, he has saved us tens of thousands of dollars with his experience and his advice. So we started this channel to help people out with some great plumbing advice. And for those who really care about credentials, he's been a master plumber in Michigan, and he's also a C36 plumbing contractor in California. 48 years of plumbing, he knows something. It also makes him a little bit grumpy when he's sharing advice. Don't piss him off. Hi, I'm Jordan, and this is my dad, Jim, the plumber. Today we're going to talk about flushing a hot water heater. So how do you flush a hot water heater? But first, my dad has some strong opinions about flushing a hot water heater. So Dad, how do you flush a hot water heater?
Well, you don't flush a water heater, as far as I'm concerned. Actually, take your money out in the front yard and set it on fire, because you'd get more out of it than you will flushing a water heater. A water heater has a drain on the bottom of it, and I know that the utility companies tell you to flush and stuff like that, but this is how it works. The drain on the bottom, you open it up, and first, if it's not a good drain, like if it's what we call a globe valve drain, where it doesn't have a full port and directly out, it's just going to clog up, and you're not going to get the water out.
Then you need a new hot water heater?
No, then you're going to try to take that drain off, and it's going to break, and you're going to flood the house, and then you're going to be mad as hell. Okay?
Right.
But on a water heater is how, if you drain the heater, you open up the valve on the bottom, and all this sediment, which is not usually a lot of sediment as you think there is, because I have drained lots of water heaters, which I take people's money and just tell them they're crazy, but it just, the sediment only, like, it's like a river, it just cuts a hole through the sediment, or a line through it, and then all the sediment you can't get out. You have to get in and spray it out or put chemicals in to break it down, and you don't want to do that. And it doesn't extend the life of the water heater. Another thing, people think they need to drain the water heater because they hear the term is percolate. They hear this bubbling sound, bubble, 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 like that. That is usually caused, according to the manufacturer, like the metals in the heater.
Okay.
The tank
heating elements?
The tank is made of steel, okay? And when years ago, the terms used to be to sell water heater, this is glass line. Well, it's really not glass line. There's a glazing on it, and that's what protects the steel liner. And another thing that's inside of a water heater is called a magnesium rod. And that magnesium rod supposedly is supposed to flake off and patch all these little pieces of glass lining that has come on. So really, it really is not necessary to drain a water heater. It's a waste of money. And another thing too is there's what they call a TMP valve. It's a pressure temperature valve that is located either on the top or the side of the water heater, and that's to protect the homeowner, that if it was bad and the water heater overheated or something, it could blow up. Well, when it blows up, it usually levels the house, so you won't be around
like
to bitch about the one thing. It's like a rocket when it goes up. So just leave it alone. And one thing you don't want to do is take that little lever that's on that temperature pressure valve and pop it every once in a while, and it'll spit out water. Well, sometimes it'll spit out water, but it won't stop. So now
really?
You got to bring somebody in to change that.
So don't touch that valve.
Don't touch it.
Okay.
You know.
Don't touch, don't flush.
Don't touch, don't flush.
Okay.
A water heater, say in California, probably has an average life of about 5 years.
Okay.
In the Midwest, where I used to live, has an average life of maybe 15 years.
Why is that? Why is it
because
different?
You don't have as high as water pressure. In
okay.
California, they have all these reservoirs high in the mountains, and when that water pressure gets to your house, it's usually at about 150 pounds. So I always look at it this way. Water heaters have a hard time living because you have 150 pounds of pressure on the heater, and then you have this burner on a gas water heater heating up the bottom of that heater, and what do you think? You know, pressure and heat, will cause that metals to contract. It's like, putting heat on the bottom of your butt. See how long it's going to last.
Okay, all right. So how about for flushing? Does it matter if it's electric or it's a natural gas powered water heater?
No, it doesn't really matter. Either one. Electrics are usually a lot harder to drain, which is sometimes not a bad idea on an electric heater.
Are they harder to drain because of the crud in them? Or?
Well, they get more crud in because an electric water heater has what we call elements. That's what heats the water in the heater. Well, the thing is, both heater elements do not come on at the same time. the top heater element comes on and heats 75% of the heater, and then that turns off when that's satisfied, and then it switches to the bottom of the element, and that's only about 6 inches off, and that heats all the water. Well, that usually will over the years lay into a lot of sediment down in there, and it usually is the first one to burn out, is if it burns out.
Okay.
And you will have water if that burns out, but you won't have very much water.
Okay, hot water.
Hot water, but you won't have much. And usually people would call and say, I have hot water, but it don't last very long. Well, it's electric water here. I just say the bottom elements is out. So you can take it out and clean it when you take it out. Try to get much around it as you can, which is very hard to do because you're dealing through about 1.5 inch hole. To try to get things out of there, and you can't get a vacuum in there and stuff.
So it's cheaper to get.
But clean it out, clean it, put another element in.
Oh, really? Okay.
And you know they can go. I mean, cost-wise, you know, go as many years as you can. Electric heaters tend to last a lot longer. They will last. You know, they can last 20 years or better.
Really, even in California.
Even in California, yeah.
So it's more of a gas one. California lasts 5
gas
years.
tends to have more. You know, because there's heat on the gas where the elements inside the water and heating the water.
Gotcha.
So I mean,
flushing it, you don't need to flush it.
No,
it doesn't get the sediment out.
No, doesn't get it.
Okay.
Here's another little thing. If somebody asks, I'm taking a shower and I'm smelling rotten eggs when I'm taking a shower, that's caused from the magnesium rod inside the water heater. It's in a gas heater and it's in an electric heater, and you can pull that out. It's a lot of work, but it takes a big socket with a big long bar on the end of it, but it can be screwed out and you could pull it out. Water heater manufacturers say they void the warranty on it if it's out, but
at that point it's probably an old water heater anyway.
Well, even if it's a new water, if it's a week old, how's the water heater manufacturer going to know that element's ever been removed? You take it out and you put a 3/4 inch plug in it, and you're back in action.
You don't replace it?
No, I wouldn't replace it. Why? They're expensive. Oh, God, why would you do something that probably going to start stinking again in a little while? I mean, you smell that, but it's not worth. You draining the heater is not going to get rid of the smell.
Gotcha. Okay. Flushing it won't get rid of the smell. It's a magnesium rod.
And there's no sense in flushing a water heater. It's stupid to flush a water heater.
Okay.
You know, save your money.
So you don't need to flush it every year, frequently, or anything.
No, you don't flush it every year.
Okay.
Like I said, save your money. If you see me in a bar, you can buy me a drink.
All right, thanks so much, Daddy. Appreciate it. If you got any questions for the plumber, leave them in the comments below. If you want some more of these videos and more tips on plumbing and how much it costs and how not to get ripped off, hit the subscribe button right now.
And if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, go to hell.